Hello and welcome back to this channel. I am in San Diego, USA. The hike I originally wanted to do didn't quite work out. I didn't enjoy it as much as I expected to, but I still have some time left in California. I want to make good use of my time and explore some of these beautiful places. So today I'm in San Diego and I'm gonna take you along for a tour around the city. I'm starting off my day in San Diego with a visit to Old Town State Park. This was the first settlement in California, first time Europeans settled in this area. So this is a protected area with many cool historic buildings, markets and restaurants. I'm gonna have a look around. There's also a haunted house, the Whaley House, only one of two officially designated haunted houses in the US. Hands down one of my favorite things to see in San Diego, the Old Town. I remember I was here about 6 years ago, went for a ghost tour in the evening, and it mainly took place in this hotel behind me. It was very spooky. They were telling us ghost stories. They were making us sit around a table and told us that the ghosts were now with us and told the ghosts to touch our shoulders. It was a very special experience, the best ghost tour I've ever done. So if you're here during an evening, definitely plan that in. I do really recommend it. I'm now gonna head to the downtown area of San Diego and check out some other cool neighborhoods of the city. In the downtown area there are two neighborhoods I want to check out. First off, there's Little Italy, which is great to visit during the day. There's often a farmer's market going on, so loads to see there, live concerts. Then the Gaslamp Quarter, that's more lively in the evening, a place with lots of bars where people like to go out. Today I'm gonna head there in the afternoon, but keep in mind, if you're looking for a place to go out in the evening, Gaslamp Quarter is probably the best place to go. It's really interesting to walk around the downtown area. It's Saturday afternoon and there's nobody here. I guess this is the business district, and on the weekends it's empty. I barely see any people walking around, whereas in Little Italy it's so crowded and busy. It's a very weird contrast. Close to the Gaslamp Quarter is also Petco Park, which is well known to all the baseball fans, and the US Navy Museum, where you can look at big battleships of the US Army. Welcome to the absolutely beautiful Baldora Park. There are countless museums, restaurants, and even the country pavilions. A few houses where you can step into a different country. They represent their culture. It's a really cool place and you could spend the whole day here. To end my day in San Diego, I have come to the All Point Loma Lighthouse. It costs $10 To enter the site, you can walk on a trail, see the lighthouse, and there's also some kind of museum. This is the location where Europeans first stepped foot on the west coast, about 50 years after Columbus discovered America. You'll get a great view from here over San Diego, and my main purpose for visiting this place is the lighthouse. It was active for about 30 years towards the end of the 19th century. For some time they thought it was the perfect location to guide the boats into the harbor of San Diego, but then they realized when the clouds were out and it was foggy, you couldn't actually see the light, so they relocated the lighthouse. And that's when the wind got too much for my microphone to handle. I had a great time exploring the lighthouse and all of San Diego. I hope you enjoyed the tour around the city. I also just want to mention that this is a great place to watch the sunset. Of course, there's the Sunset Cliffs and also La Jolla Beach, which I visited the evening before. Hello and welcome back to this channel. I'm in the USA. To be more precise, I'm in Las Vegas, and today we're checking out the Grand Canyon. And I'm so excited for this. Obviously the Grand Canyon has been on my list for a very long time. Still haven't been, but today's the day. I'm gonna be joining a tour starting here at the Circus Hotel in Las Vegas. They're gonna take us there. It's gonna be a long day, but I'm really excited to see it. So let's get it started. Alright, so after a few hours drives, about 2.5 hours, we've made it to the west rim of the Grand Canyon. You can visit the northwest or south rim of the Grand Canyon. The north and the south belong to the national park, and then the west belongs to Native Americans. It's a reserve. Let me clarify, with your tour company or your own vehicle, you'll arrive at the Grand Canyon West Visitor Center. From there on, you need to join one of the shuttles that will take you to the edge of the canyon. There's no way you can drive further on yourself. Overall, there are 3 stops on the shuttle tour, and you can get on and off at each of them. Keep in mind though that you can only complete the circuit once though. The first stop they have is this village. It is very touristy. They just built it to sell a few things. There are some shops. There are some Native Americans performing traditional dance. I recommend don't spend too long here. Get on to the more beautiful viewpoints fast and get back on the bus. Already from here, the views of the Grand Canyon look amazing. Eagle Point was the next stop on the shuttle tour, and this is actually the first opportunity to really see the canyon in its full beauty. The views here were fantastic, and this is also where you can experience the Skywalk. The Skywalk is kind of a glass bottom bridge where you can walk above the canyon. I didn't do this because it was an expensive add-on. You're also not allowed to bring any phone or camera on there because they want to take your picture there and for you and charge you again, of course. At each of these shuttle stops there's a restaurant as well, and in my opinion the one at Eagle Point is the nicest. So if you want to plan in any lunch, then this would be a good point to go to the restaurant. You can get the best views from the Grand Canyon West Rim at Guama Point. This really blew me away and I loved it. If you climb on the hill behind the restaurant, you'll get a panoramic view of the Colorado River as well, and this whole natural wonder. Such a cool experience overall, and make sure to have enough time at Guama Point because it's really the highlight of the whole trip. After our time at the Grand Canyon, we headed back to Las Vegas, but stopped at the Hoover Dam as well. The view from the bridge was impressive and I'm glad I got to see this as well. Glad the tour company could pack it into the trip. Make sure you look out for that if you book tours. Of course, if you're with your car, no problem to just stop by and have a look. Okay, I'm now back at the hotel. It was a long day, but as I said, if you would have gone to the South Rim, that takes even longer. So West Rim is the closest you can get to Las Vegas. Of course, that might be different if you're traveling from Arizona. But I had such a great day exploring the Grand Canyon and the Hoover Dam as well. Two things I wanted to see for a very long time. Hello and welcome back to this channel. We are in the USA. It's another sunny day in Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh, you see nothing.
Move my body.
Yesterday I went to see the Grand Canyon, so if you haven't seen that video yet, go ahead and check it out. Today I'm gonna be spending the day in the city, gonna go around Las Vegas and explore everything there is to see here in Las Vegas. That mainly means checking out all the hotels they have here. Now I'm not gonna be covering every single hotel, of course, because there are just too many. I'm also not gonna be entering every single one of them, but just show you the highlights and basically giving you a tour of the must-see hotels here in Las Vegas. Let's get it started. Alright, I just got out of my hotel. I'm staying at the Circus Hotel, all the way at the north end of the strip. Further down north is the Stratosphere, but other than that, all the rest of the famous hotels, they are more up south. Now the Circus can be described as one of the more family-friendly hotels. In Vegas there is a midway area, there's a theme park even, and there are also circus acts every hour for free you can watch. So it's a cool hotel, not really one of the most glamorous ones, but I am really enjoying my stay. Now it's time to check out some of the other hotels. I'm gonna head south, just walk up the strip. Now if it's your first time in Vegas, you might find it to be a very weird place. It's not a living city like others. It was built just for tourism. So the people that work here actually in the hotels and the casinos, they all live outside of the city, and then the city center is hotels and casinos everywhere. Really something I'm not very used to being from Europe, so it's a very special and weird place. I'm now inside the Venetian, which is my favorite hotel on the strip. It's just so extravagant and so cool to walk around. You can get on a gondola ride like in Venice, so it's really cool. A ride costs about $130 per boat, so really expensive. Just absurd to be riding around inside a hotel, a shopping mall, but people do it and it's fun. can definitely spend loads of money in Las Vegas, and you can lose lots of money, of course. But the cool thing is there are also many free things to do in hotels. There are loads of free shows to check out. One of them being at the Caesar's Palace, one of the most famous hotels at the Strip. There's an animatronic show that happens throughout the day. We're gonna go and check out. Las Vegas is located in the desert, so it gets super hot in summer, 37 degrees Celsius sometimes, which means that lots of the life here in Vegas happens indoors. People spend their whole days inside gambling, seeing the shows, shopping, but there's one exception. At the Link Hotel there's actually quite a big outdoors promenade where people spend time. There's the only zip line in Las Vegas, and also the High Roller, which is the second tallest Ferris wheel in the world. I'm now at another absolute classic, the Paris Hotel Vegas. And guess what? They built a replica of the Eiffel Tower. Of course it's not as tall, but still quite impressive. As with every hotel, there is a casino, there's a shopping mall. It's basically an adult amusement park. It's a place to go out, gamble and shop. So most of these hotels are actually quite similar inside, but it's the theming and the decoration that really makes a difference. One of my absolute favorite hotels is the New York Hotel in Las Vegas, and it even has a roller coaster. Now I think it's quite expensive, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna go on. I've already been on one time before, but if it's your first time, it is a really cool thing to do here in Vegas.
Back and forth, move my body. 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 Back and forth, move my body.
Alright, if you ever wanted to stay in a medieval Burger King look-alike castle, Excalibur might be for you. One of the cheaper options to stay at in Vegas. Looks super cool from the outside, and I've never been inside, so let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, nothing really to see in there that we haven't seen before. The same slots, the same setup of the hotel. What always surprises me is the smell of cigarettes in these casinos. It's very weird to me that you can smoke inside the building, and the whole building kind of takes on this smoky scent. So not super nice. Now I'm heading over to the Luxor. I'm excited for this one. It's really cool to head inside. They've got the Sphinx statue outside, and of course you can head inside and see the pyramid from the inside as well. So from the Luxor I could walk straight over to the Mandalay Bay Hotel, which has kind of an Asian theme. Seems very classy and very chill. Alright, I'm now pretty much done with my tour around the hotels. I'm now gonna head back down to the Bellagio, and I'm gonna watch the famous fountain show as soon as the sun goes down, and also the volcano show at the Mirage Hotel.
My body.
Oh, unfortunately the show at the Mirage couldn't take place because of the strong winds tonight. But not a big deal, I had an amazing day today in Las Vegas exploring all the hotels. Hello and welcome back to this channel. Finally, after 6 years, I am back in LA. Today in this video I'm gonna take you around my favorite part of the city, 5 things to do in Hollywood. Starting it off with my favorite spot in LA, even my favorite spot in California, it's the Griffith Observatory. There is an observatory here, but everybody just comes for the view and to hang out on the lawn. Bring your picnic on a warm evening and just hang out here. The atmosphere is just something special. This is also where they filmed La La Land, of course, so that might be another good reason for you to come and check out the scene. Now there is a trail to walk up to the observatory, but there's also spots to be conveniently dropped off by an Uber or by another car. Which brings me to the next thing to do here in Hollywood. It's visiting the Hollywood sign. If you do want to visit the Hollywood sign, you do have to hike up. There's no car park right next to the sign, so you do have to walk up, and it's a great experience actually. It takes about 2 hours and it's 3.3 miles. Another must thing to do in Hollywood, in my opinion, is a visit to Universal Studios, where you can ride some awesome attractions and get behind the scenes of some of your favorite films. I'm now heading there. I'm not gonna spend the full day there. I'm just gonna show you my favorite attractions and some things you shouldn't miss out on when you visit Universal Studios. Alright, so I just spent some great hours in Universal Studios. My favorite rides in there include Jurassic Park, Transformers, Pets Off the Leash. You gotta check out the animal show. Of course, Harry Potter is a big highlight. The Forbidden Journey is such an amazing ride. And for every movie fan, of course, you need to check out the behind the scenes studio tram tour, where they actually take you through some sets they have used in movies. They are still doing productions back there to this day. But if you don't want to pay to enter Universal Studios, as it's quite expensive, you can also head to City Walk. It's Universal's entertainment district with lots of restaurants and shops, and that's a really cool place as well. Another really cool thing to do here in Hollywood, of course, is the Walk of Fame. So I'm gonna head down there and check out all the stars on the floor and see what celebrities we can find. Now the Hollywood Boulevard and the Walk of Fame is the heart of Hollywood in my opinion. So you gotta see it while you're here. It's kind of the Times Square of LA in my opinion. There's so much going on there. Of course you can check out the stars, but there are thousands of shops and lots of street entertainers. So a really cool place to be, especially towards the evening. After walking around the Hollywood Boulevard, I'm sure you're ready for some rest, I only have one recommendation left for you, and that's a visit to the Tcl Chinese Theater, one of the most iconic cinemas in the world, in my opinion. On top of that, they also got great popcorn. So that's what I'm doing tonight. I'm on my way to see a movie. I hope you enjoyed my videos from the USA. There's a new trip coming up very soon. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.